and we now are reimbursing them for a portion, so.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good thing, and I appreciate all the work that you guys have
Thank you,
put into
and
it.
we appreciate that as well. Our projects, we can't do it without our local partners.
Yep.
And we want to keep doing these types of flood mitigation projects. FEMA and the IDNR and other state agencies have the money. They're going to have even more money, and they recognize the good work that we do as partners. And we're going to need more flood mitigation moving forward. And not always can you save houses. A better approach is to, do the buyout program. So it is a successful program. It's more cost effective sometimes in the long run when flood insurance claims are paid after paid. And that's why FEMA provides this type of money, because they recognize that in the long run, it will be more cost effective to remove these structures that are in risky areas, and it's just going to cost the program and taxpayers more money in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good example of pay it now or pay it later, but if we pay it later, it's going to be a lot higher of a bill. And to your point about the houses, saving the houses, there's nothing that can be done to save these two homes, but this project will preserve, hopefully, the longevity of all the homes downstream. And we won't have like Trustee Otterson said, all of a sudden, an emergency on our hands and everything's up for grabs. So, yes, I support it.
Thank you. Other comments?
Oh, I have plenty.
Jump in.
I'm holding my fire here.
Get comfortable.
All right, everybody relax and settle in. No.
I have struggled with this thing from day one, and on several accounts. One, it's all on private property, and I've struggled with what is the obligation of the rest of the taxpayers in this town to basically bail out two homeowners that have a problem on their property. And my conclusion is that, yeah, there is some corporate responsibility, as the mayor pointed out. That Bull Creek is a drainage system that we all use. And every time we permit a new house, or road, garage, driveway, we're contributing to that runoff, and we're contributing to the increased flow and the increased damage to those homes. So I get that. And the challenge was, what is our responsibility there? The other side of it is, what is the responsibility of homeowners? And we struggle with that at both our finance and our public works committee meeting is, okay, the FEMA, stormwater management, and the village are going to buy your property. Should it be bought at market value? Should it be bought at some lower value, considering that if you were to go get a loan from a bank, they'd give you zero for it today? So that was a consideration. That was a struggle for us. At this point, I think that we've worked with stormwater and we've got this as low as we can. The other thing that we mentioned here earlier is the total cost of over $1 million for two, houses don't cost that much in Beach Park. There's two houses that are going to be demolished and removed. And the restoration cost just blows me away. And I feel like we're getting perhaps some engineer's dream job here that may be more than we need. And toward what Trustee Anderson said, and I didn't see that in this agreement, by the way, and I'd like to see an MOU that would guarantee us input into the process as the, if it's there, I missed it. If it's, I'll be thrilled if it's in there. Input into the process as this is designed and bid, so that we at least have a voice. I'm not asking for a veto necessarily, but I would at least like to have a seat at the table when that occurs. The restoration is just, I get it. I know it's not cheap to do, but I don't remember the number, but I know it's really a lot of money.
Well, it is a complicated project because that bluff is, 30 feet tall?
If I can just refer to 1EI in the agreement. It states, "The village shall be given the opportunity to comment on design and construction plans. However, SMC and the village will defer final design decisions to the professional engineer responsible for stamping the plans." So the professional license of that engineer that goes on that plan, who is responsible for that design, they will have the ultimate say in what is, safe for the public health and
my
safety.
apology. I missed that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is, I mean, it's at least a 25 or 30-foot bluff, right? So it's gonna be,
Yeah,
it's gonna be
every bit of
complicated
that, yeah.
from a constructability standpoint. That weighs it, that weighs the place significantly, so.
And while you're on that page, I have, my last question I have here, I'm looking at just above this, the paragraph that you cited under small Roman 5, above that, under one, whatever, must be C5. No, one,
See,
yeah, anyway, Roman 5, whatever that is.
Yep.
This agreement does not relieve the village from obtaining any necessary federal, state, or local permits. Yet below, under 2C, you've worked coordinated permit, obtaining the permits with the SMC, and also on the next page, B at the top, the village is to assist SMC in securing permits. So I'm just curious, is this a hidden cost to us to obtain all the, I know that core permits and SMC permits are not cheap. There's engineering involved. My presumption was that was all part of the total budget, and this is not a separate line item that we might find ourselves being on the hook for.
I was, and I'm certainly no expert here, but my interpretation of that when I was considering this was that we will be required to sign permits
yes.
on behalf of the project as the village, because it'll be within our
I'm
boundaries.
absolutely fine with that,
Yeah.
so long as they're paid
Yeah.
for from that pot of money that we've all.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Presumably.
Yeah, I think one of the discussions along that line was that if the Village of Beach Park currently is the holder of the deeds of the conservation easement that runs through that property, so in a lot of cases, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kurt, but in the past, the village has had to be the permittee because they're the holder of the deed in that conservation easement.
Yeah, typically the applicant for the project is the property owner.
Yeah, whoever holds the right-of-way, or the, am I saying that right, the deed to the
Easement.
conservation easement?
It's an easement, there's not a deed to an easement, just holding the easement. You're the grantee of the
We're
easement.
the holder of the easement,
Right,
right.
right.
And it was originally put in as a conservation easement. There's also a utility easement, because North Shore has a sewer interceptor running through
Yep.
there, but that's not in peril at this time.
No.
One of the previous projects it was, there was a manhole being washed away, so.
Well, I'm prepared to vote for this agreement as it stands. I'm not prepared to vote for additional costs down the road.
Understood. And that's my understanding as well, that our not to exceed is what we've agreed to as this, and I do believe that's the intent.
Thank you, Mayor.
One of the project requirements, when it's all said and done, it gets locked down, is open space in perpetuity. So there's not much that will be developed or improved on the property
Yep.
after that
Exactly.
stage. So I
Yep,
wouldn't, I
so
wouldn't
that,
expect there to be.
going forward, after acquiring or taking possession of, you're right, we're not going to be doing any development. At best, it'd be maintenance and the like.
And
So-
SMC will be doing the maintenance for the first 10 years, and that'll be the most intense part.
Which is
of
important, because
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're
getting it all to
you're
a
standing
stable.
behind your
the
design.
early establishment,
Yep.
usually within year 3 or 5, it's self-sustaining, but,
Yep.
you know, you have 7 more years when we're on the hook.
Yeah, I think we'll probably end up cutting the grass up top.
Yep.
In the front yards, but the bluff part of it will be 10 years covered.
Yeah, tending the invasive species and woody growth and all the rest of the stuff that needs to be taken care of, so. All right, any other discussion?
You're not gonna let me build a park there after the houses go down?
You can put a.
A small one?
you
We
put a
can-
toilet
Put a cot ladder?
shelter there.
We can put a butterfly garden there,
There you go.
yep, or a rain garden,
The swing set.
Yeah, let's go ahead, let's do it, get it done.
right? Any other discussion? All right. Then, in consideration of all that has come and gone and discussed, I would ask for the clerk to please call the roll.
Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
Trustee Gus.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
With great reluctance, aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Motion carries, and I would really, truly like to thank our board for all their concern, all their hard questions, the due diligence that's been done. This was never an easy discussion, and SMC, we wouldn't be talking about this at all had the work not been done by your team to get the grants, and that's an incredible amount of money that's available to be spent in our municipality that would not be there otherwise. And so we are grateful for that.
Thank you. And if you've met Sharon Osterman with our office,
Yep.
all the credit really goes to Sharon. So
Yep.
I just want to
Yeah.
make that mention. And
Yep.
thanks for the staff, the work you've done in the meeting with the committees to this point. We talk about a lot of mitigation projects in Lake County and other watersheds.
Yep.
We don't get to really highlight projects in the Lake Michigan watershed.
Right.
But this project and the projects we do with Beach Park, we definitely highlight as an example of good partnership with communities for the Lake Michigan watershed. And we want to continue that. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And just for the hundreds that are watching at home, I believe our portion is not to exceed 135. But I believe SMC's paying $500,000, right? You
There's
budgeted
it's a
around
big
that?
chunk. I can't.
It's a big chunk, because the FEMA grant was like a 70-30, so we're splitting the 30, and you're paying more than we are in
Yeah.
that 30, so
And that's not real money, that's,
it's grant money.
It's not real money.
that's not,
The ink is still wet on it sometimes.
We're going to be
so-
requesting that money with some invoices.
There you go.
All
There you
right,
go.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and for those that are keeping score, that is resolution number 9. All right,
Yeah, you beat me.
number 9, yep. Next up, we have an ordinance vacating an unimproved right-of-way.
Can we take the vote?
I'm sorry. Yeah, we did, right?
We did,
Yeah,
yes.
we did.
Yeah, we did.
It was unanimous. Wait a minute, you had me guessing that.
It was anonymous. Maybe that's.
It was anonymous. It was an anonymous.
That's why you
Yep.
missed it, right?
Well, we're practicing for that when we can't all be here.
That's right, electronically.
Telepathy. Okay, we have an ordinance vacating unimproved right-of-way for 38148 North Wilson in the Village of Beach Park to Gelardo and Alicia Barajas. And Administrator Huber, what have you got for us tonight?
Not much to add than what's in your report, but back in 2018, the board agreed to vacate that right of way, and the final payment was made in September. So in order to deed it, record it in Lake County, you've got to approve this ordinance that's attached.
Understood. Do we have a motion?
I move to approve.
Motion by trustee Addison, second by trustee Jensen. Discussion? All right. Roll call, please.
Trustee Gus,
Aye.
trustee Jensen, trustee Miller,
Aye.
trustee Addison,
Aye.
trustee Siddick.
Aye.
That is ordinance number 6. And next up, we have an ordinance amending Chapter 5.16 of Title 5 of the Beach Park, Illinois Village Code, modifying the number of liquor licenses. You will recall that we recently reduced the number of licenses due to a abandonment at 11456 Wadsworth Road, which was a Class J license. The restaurant had been closed for a time. We have new operators that have stepped up and have been doing work and bringing some needed repairs into compliance. It's my understanding that they have been good citizens and have worked very well with the village to get things done. They're anxious to get the restaurant open. The only problem is I can't give them a liquor license unless we expand the number of licenses from the current number of 2 to 3. Once that is done, the applicants have already completed the applications, the background checks have been completed. The only thing left for me to do is to sit down with them, talk about the facts of life as it comes to liquor licenses in Beach Park, and collect a fee, and they're off and running. So I would ask the board's approval of an ordinance amending Chapter 516 of Title 5 of the Beach Park, Illinois Code by modifying the number of licenses for Class J from 2 to 3. Do we have a motion to that effect?
So moved. Second.
Motion by trustee Siddick, second by trustee Miller. Discussion.
I have just a quick, simple question. We do this so seldom, I don't remember what a Class J license amounts to. Is it
That is,
food and beverage and not to
Yes.
exceed a certain percentage of the total gross?
it is restaurant with a bar. So we only have, obviously, 2 currently in the village. There are criteria that they meet with the ratio of food to alcohol and the like, and we have the right to
And of course,
request
we get
records.
video gaming there too.
And they have,
As a pour
as a
license.
pour license, they have the ability, yep,
thank
absolutely. Yep, and we're looking forward to crowded parking lots and all kinds of fun over there. So, All right, we have, any other discussion?
Hopefully a new menu.
We'll see. I think they're here tonight, so they might be happy to share their menu with you. All right, no other discussion. We'll have a roll call, please.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Addison.
Aye.
Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
Trustee Gust.
Aye.
I just feel like we should have had nachos.
All right, that is ordinance number 7, and it has been approved. I'm looking forward to connecting with them in the very near future, I'm sure. We have no cause tonight for any new business. Is there any citizen wishing to address the board about any topic?
Citizen X.
Ken Endres from Naval Station Great Lakes, representing the commanding officer. Just wanted to pass some words that are going on at the base. Because of the illnesses, recruit graduation will continue. However, there will be no visitors. The parents will not be attending. And hopefully that will be resolved soon, but it could be for some time. And also, First Friday events will be postponed or at least eliminated for the next few months. Other than that, hope the village does well and continues to enjoy the spring weather.
Well, thank you, Ken, for bringing that information to us. It is no small impact on the county. We certainly have our share of tourism as a result of the graduations at Naval Station Great Lakes. So hopefully it is very short-lived for the sake of our hotel operators and restaurant operators in the area. This is like so many other things that are going on right now, prudent, unprecedented, I'm sure. To your knowledge, has this ever happened before?
There has been times back in World War I, and also there were times again during World War II.
You remember that, don't you, Mayor?
Absolutely.
Very visitors.
Yep. So I certainly, this is just another example of certainly due caution, hopefully not overkill, but hopefully we're taking the right steps to slow, if not outright stop this spread, at least minimize the harm that it'll do. So appreciate you bringing that to us.
That has been a difficult decision, I would think, for them to make, yeah. I had a son that went through basic training at the Great Lakes Navy Base, and I remember that graduation was one of the happiest days of my life, and just thrilling to watch, so.
Yeah.
We have visitors come from all over the world.
Yeah.
It's amazing how from the South Pacific, our territories there, how many actual recruits come out of that area. Guam and
Wow.
Puerto Rico and so forth.
I assume there will be live streaming for the sake of the families and the like.
Yeah, there is
Good.
Facebook, Great Lakes,
Yep.
live streaming of the recruit graduation.
Well, it's a poor substitute, but I'm sure there's families that could never make that graduation anyway that still take advantage of that. So it's a shame that it'll be.
We have anywhere from 4 to over 5,000 visitors come into a graduation. So
Wow.
And that's every Friday, right?
Every Friday.
Yeah, they all go to Red Lobster afterwards.
Yep.
Don't
All
go
of
there.
Well, now's your chance.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Maybe they can go to our new restaurant.
There you go.
There you go. All right. I have no cause tonight for an executive session. Is there anyone that would like to?
Mayor,
Yeah.
I would like to offer a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion by trustee Jensen, second by trustee Siddick. Any discussion on that one? All right, roll call, please.
Trustee Gust.
Aye.
Trustee Jensen.
Aye.
Trustee Miller.
Aye.
Trustee Addison. Trustee Siddick.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you all.